trillion. That is the amount of debt that the United States owes China, and this number is increasing every day, according to usgovinfo.com. The United States has dug itself into this deep hole, and some may ask if they will ever come out. Using a four-step method and the support from big businesses in America and the American citizens, they can come out of this debt. China has been stating insulting comments and have been publishing insulting cartoon images in their newspapers, which are run by the government. War seems imminent by all their comments. And the debt ceiling is constantly being raised, and America is showing no signs of turning it around. The number one question everyone will ask is how. How the United States can get out of this deep debt we are in. There are 4 simple steps we can take in getting out of this debt. Number 1 is opening up the borders. This will bring in many immigrants with a variety of skills that the factories can use and will work for a lower wage. The second step is raising the retirement age from 62 to 72. This will lower the social security payments that everyone makes and raise the income tax for all the people that are from the age from 62 to 72 that are not paying the income tax while they are retired. The third step is easing off the regulations. The regulations damages the economy because of inefficiency by $1 trillion per year. The fourth step is revamping the tax code. An example of this is senators have suggested lowering income tax rates would abolish another $1 trillion in popular taxpayers. Another example is raising the gas tax. Although this isn't popular with the American public, it's a major component in getting out of debt. Using these 4 simple methods will get the United States out of debt and into a flourishing independent economy. Not only is there a 4-step method we could use, but the U.S. finally has support from the citizens and the big businesses. According to newswalmart.com, 7 major manufacturing companies are starting manufacturing in the United States. From Renfro, a small saw company, to Apple and Motorola, they are all combined spending close to $1 billion in creating self-manufacturing companies inside the United States, creating over 5,945 jobs. Getting out of debt not only makes the United States an independent economy, but it starts getting the unemployment rate to lower. Those stats were not including Walmart. Walmart alone, starting in January, committed to buying $50 billion in U.S. products over the next 10 years. This will stop all the made-in-China merchandise that we see today. 2/3 of Walmart's merchandise is already made in the United States, and they're growing to be 100% according to corporatewalmart.com. This will lower the debt and lower the reliance on other countries like China and help us get out of debt. Big businesses are doing all the heavy lifting, and all this is doing for the American public is raising the quality of the products that we buy. The Chinese state media that run the newspapers have been filled with cartoon images of U.S. leaders mocking them for stumbling in a debt deal while depicting the U.S. as a beggar, according to pwashingtontimes.com. China has made insulting comments including, quote, "The world should start building a de-Americanized world," unquote. China is planning for an economic catastrophe for the United States. In August 2011, a last-second confrontation saved an economic catastrophe. Once again, this year in October 2013, they have done that again, extending the debt ceiling another year, and all this is doing is allowing the debt to raise more and more every year. The debt raising causes the U.S. to fall deeper and deeper into this hole that will soon be impossible to get out of. China is preparing to be the #1 world power without the U.S. anywhere close behind. They can do this if the United States remains in debt, allowing China to be a step ahead of us at all times. China called for, quote, the introduction of new international reserve currency to replace the United States dollar, so that the international community could permanently stay away from the spillover of the intensifying political turmoil in the United States, according to NewYorkTimes.com. China wants the United States and the United States dollar completely out of the picture, so that China and their currency, the RMB, can take over. If China wants the U.S. completely out of the picture, how will they do it, and what will they do? The answer is war. China's comments have been very insulting, and leave the question, what will they do? Huai Chunying, the spokeswoman for China's foreign ministry, said, we hope the U.S. can take actions to ensure the safety of China's assets and investments in the United States. What if we don't? What will they do? They will go to war with us. China might hesitate though. In 1996, during the Taiwan crisis, China could do nothing against the United States' 2 aircraft carriers. China's military shows that the best way to avoid humiliation like that again is to strike the U.S. before the United States can strike or reach China. If China were to go to war, their plan would be to strike with speed, fury, and little warning. Although it is very unlikely for the United States or China to just attack one another, there has to be a provocation of war, like in Korea, where China is supporting the North Koreans, which are communist, and the U.S. is supporting the South Koreans. This would force them to step in and become face to face, and could possibly create a World War III. The U.S. is escalating U.S. military buildup in Japan of high technology weaponry in Japan. Japan and the U.S. are allies, while Japan and China are hostile towards each other. By 2020, 60% of naval and air force will be in Asia, according to LATimes.com. If you think this does not affect you, your future children, and grandchildren, you are wrong. This war would change the world forever, a war that could be avoided if we get out of debt. The United States has finally figured out a way to get out of this $128 trillion debt we are in. We can do this if we use the 4-step method and have support from the big businesses and citizens of the United States. China has been insulting the U.S. from their comments to their cartoon images in the newspapers. A world economic catastrophe is imminent if the United States does not get out of the debt, and a war will happen if we do not get out of debt. This $128 trillion debt has to go away and never come back.